arrested in connection with assault on Kede Senior High School technical teacher. Plus, President John Dramani Mahama says his administration has laid a solid foundation for Ghana's long-term development. I'm Kemini Amano. This is News Central. The news starts right now. The cries of suspects in that assault case. Now, the Ghana Police Service, in collaboration with the cybersecurity units, have arrested 5 of them in connection with the assault on a tutor at the Kade Senior High Technical School. The suspects appeared in court earlier this morning and have been remanded to reappear on the 20th of January 2026. The arrests follow the circulation of a viral video showing a group of individuals believed to be both current and former students of the school assaulting the teacher. The attack was allegedly sparked by the teacher's refusal to allow the suspects engage in examination malpractice during last year's WASI. Now, this latest development is coming on the back of the president's comments on this issue when he talked about the increase in acts of indiscipline in schools and the need for the law to take its course. Let's take a listen.
And a safe and secure working environment is a must. Indeed, I saw that video of I think it was a maths teacher being beaten because when he was invigilating, he refused to allow our children to cheat. And they had a sense of entitlement. And so why did you not allow us to cheat? And the unfortunate thing is that the matter went to the police station, and the parents of the students went to the police, and they said they settled the matter amicably. I mean, how is that? This is assault, it's criminal, you know. But when we inquired, the police also said, I think the teacher was compensated, so he didn't want to press charges anymore. But I said, at least the children should have been booked, they should have been taken through the legal process, and at least, if nothing at all, they should have been bonded to be of good behavior for a period of time. And then we'll believe that justice has been done. But just for parents to come and, you know, pay a little compensation, it will encourage others to do the same. You know, and so as for assaults on teachers, I am with you 100%. We will deal with it.
Let's stay on the subject matter. Joining me now is Godwin Awunoyevu, who's the Eastern Region NAGRA chairman on the back of this issue. He also sat through today's court proceedings. Thank you so much, Godwin, for your time this afternoon. Do you think that this latest development is coming on the back of the president's attention he's given the matter?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good afternoon, your viewers. I think the president came in, yes, to re-echo how the issue needs to be carried out, and we must recommend him for re-echoing that particular aspect as well. I must say that it was due to the press conference that we had last year, where we gave the ultimatum to the IGP, the 40 working days to the IGP, that if the students are not apprehended, when school resumes, you know, the second cycle schools have resumed, the basic schools will resume tomorrow. And this issue has really averted the sit-down strike And we are very much happy because when the students were brought to court this morning, we were very happy. The judge was very trained, very disciplined, and giving out the judgment for them to go to remand and reappear on the 20th January 2026, we were much relieved. Despite the fact that they all succumbed to their guilt, and we are hoping that on the 20th, when they reappear in court, the final decision by the judge is what we are all looking up to. And as the president said, they need to punish severely. And I must say that we are really happy. The teachers at Kedesmia High School are also really happy. And after the proceedings, we could see the family members wailing here and there. And we said, justice is being served. So let's wait for the final decision to be determined by the court.
Just a few more things. Now we understand that because of the new developments, there will no longer be a sit-down strike as threatened earlier. But we also hear that the teacher in question may have taken compensation for the assault on him. Is Nagrat aware of this?
Yeah, thank you very much. Due to the court proceedings, the sit-down strike has been put on hold for now. The teacher in question did not accept any compensation. You see, the information is that when he was giving the police medical report to the court, the hospital, and then after going through the medicals, he came and one of the student's parents decided to find out the cost of the medical bill, which was $2,500, and they decided to pay that. And they gave the money to the mother, of which the mother didn't want to accept it. So when the video came viral, then the mother sent the money back to the parents for them to take their own money, because once it has come and the government has taken over the matter, there's no need for them to pay the medical bills. Not that the teacher has accepted any compensation for that purpose. Yeah.
While we're on the subject of the teacher, tell us how he's doing since the incident.
Oh, today he was much relieved that justice is being served. You could see that the family members who came were really happy, and they were thanking the union leaders for standing behind their brother, their friend, everything. And then we said that is how unions should work. And I must take this opportunity to thank the Director General, Professor David. The man is really, really a disciplinarian. Not knowing when the issue came, they already start at the National Directorate taking their own decision, where they even asked the lawyer of GES to liaise with the IGP, also to avert the sit-down strike that we intended to do. I must say that I'm really happy that we have such a Director General currently who is manning the service. And then our Eastern Regional Director of Education, Dr. Mrs. Ivy Owusua Akwantua, they've really done well.
I see, Godwin, quickly, I've heard you say justice is being served a few times. What does justice look like for you as a teacher union? What are your expectations? Yeah,
our expectation is that the various incidents that happened, that justice has not been served, we are asking the IGP to also effect arrest on those people, so that actually those teachers over there will be much relieved. That has been done for the teachers. No, but in this matter that is already in court, what will constitute justice for you? Yeah, just because they have been remanded into police custody to reappear on the 20th. For them to also accept their guilt means that justice is being served. Do you want them jailed? Yeah, if the court finds them so, we shall be happy. I see. To serve as a deterrent to the other students. I see. We'll leave it here. Thank you so much. Godwin Awunoyevu is the Eastern Regional Chairman of Nagrat. We'll turn attention away from this and onto the President, John Dramani Mahama, who says his administration has laid a solid foundation for Ghana's long-term development a year after difficulties in the management of the economy. Speaking at a non-denominational Thanksgiving service at the Jubilee House, the President says a necessary but informed decision will reform the country's progress as it equally tests the resilience of Ghanaians.
As we look back on the past year, we do so honestly We have taken difficult decisions. We have undertaken difficult reforms. We've laid the foundations that may not yet be visible, but are sustainable for the sustainable progress of our country. We have prioritized economic stabilization, institutional reform, social protection, and the restoration of confidence, both within our country and in the international community. The work we have begun is far from finished, but today reminds us that progress is not measured only by numbers and by charts and diagrams. It is also measured by hope that is restored, by trust that is rebuilt, and correct direction that is regained. Thanksgiving must also be accompanied by recommitment. And so today, we recommit to ethical leadership, we recommit ourselves to service above self, we recommit ourselves to governance anchored in integrity, competence, and compassion. We recommit ourselves to listening, especially to the voices of our vulnerable, our youth, and those who feel excluded. And we recommit ourselves to the unity of our nation, knowing that Ghana's strength has always come from our ability to rise above division and work together for the common good. My fellow countrymen and women, the year ahead will demand even more from us. It will test our resolve, our patience, and our discipline. But it will also offer us opportunities to deepen the reforms we have started, opportunities to accelerate our growth, and ensure that development and progress touches every part of our country. And so let us move forward with humility, let us lead with empathy, and let us govern with courage. And let us never forget that leadership is stewardship. It is temporary and fleeting. Authority is a fleeting trust held on behalf of the people.
Meanwhile, some ministers of state and appointees have expressed hope in the Mahama-led administration to purposely drive the country to growth and prosperity. There is optimism that the president will go down as the leader Ghana ever deserved.
Hopeful that God has been merciful and great to all the people of Ghana. And we are very hopeful that God will continue to bless His Excellency the President, give him the wisdom to be able to govern this country and to ensure that all the sectors of our economy will do well so that the benefit will come to all the people of Ghana. In my part as the Securities and Exchange Commission, we're also doing our best to ensure that the investor community is given the assurance. We have just passed the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill into an act, which the President has already assented to it, so that all those people who do crypto and other things will be regulated by my office, so that the investor sector will be promoted.
What lies ahead? Well, it's been very great, a lot of challenges, but by the grace of God, we've been able to surmount all those challenges. At the moment, everybody in this country can look back and say, this is how far God has brought us. We inherited a very terrible economy. At the moment, we all know that the economy is stable. There are a lot of new policies we have introduced. We are looking at the sustainability, and 2026 we are going to do more. So it's been good, it's been pressure, but by the grace of God, we've been able to.
It has shown that President John Dramani Mahama has reflected what we thought about him, the man who would come to save Ghana. It has reflected it in his 1 year. It has shown that Ghana has taken its place in the community of the world and in Africa. It has shown that we are reflecting our true selves as Ghanaians. It shows that the economy can even grow better. It shows that Ghanaians are committed and willing to go along with great leadership. And I'm happy that we are thanking God for it today, and we are showing that we are grateful to God and grateful also to the leadership.
1 year down the line, we'll be very happy what the president said, that the resilience, we'll see that the foundation was very strong. But look at the Feed Ghana program. I'm sure you saw what the president showed. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Honorable Eric Opoku, my minister, and a lot of initiatives that we have put in. They were all 1 year. Mind you, and we deal with crops, and it's a seasonal thing. So you are going to see the results that all the things that he has put in. If it's about you see them just 3 old chicks. Now we are going to see them growing, and then we'll see what we are talking about, economy of Ghana. For us, we are coming out with an investment fair that you will see. All these things will be explained, that you will come in and take advantage of what is going to happen in.
Now, 12 months after President Mahama was sworn into office for his second term, many Ghanaians have lauded him for settling in on a firm foundation despite lingering questions over delivery of some campaign promises and his governance style. Christabel Success Trev has more in this year in review report.
About 1 year ago, President John Dramani Mahama was once again sworn in as President of the Republic of Ghana at the Black Star Square.
The laws of the Republic of Ghana, so help me God.
Congratulations! For Ghana, it was another peaceful transfer of power from one administration to the other. For Mahama, it was a second chance at the helm of affairs. When President Mahama returned to office, expectations were high. His pledge was to run a leaner government. A reduced number of ministers presented as a move to cut expenditure and improve efficiencies.
But almost a year on, analysts say the real question is not how many ministers were appointed, but whether the structure has delivered better outcomes.
Overall, apart from 1 or 2, I was called the president government, Mr. Mahama's government, a B+, close to an A. There are about 4 policies of every government worldwide that affect the ordinary citizen wherever you find yourself. Out of these 4, interest rate, what's it called? The third one is debt to GDP, and then the CD2, the exchange to the major currencies as well.
Beyond cabinet size, the administration spent much of its first year launching and reintroducing major projects.
I promise to convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on the necessary improvements to our education sector. I promise to reintroduce the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. We promise to lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline administration and prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships.
Supporters say the focus has been on laying the foundation rather than quick wins. Critics argue that after a year, citizens should begin to feel tangible results.
Overall, apart from 1 or 2, I was called the president government, Mr. Mahama's government, a B+, close to an A. There are about 4 policies of every government worldwide that affect the ordinary citizen wherever you find yourself. Out of these 4, interest rate, debt to GDP, and then the CD2, the exchange to the major currencies as well.
Mahama's return has reshaped the tone of governance. Parliament has seen moments of cooperation alongside sharp disagreements. The executive-legislature relationship has tested the administration's commitment to accountability and transparency.
Several key promises fulfilled, Mahama's return has been marked by swift action and decisive leadership. However, concerns have been raised concerning the effective implementation of the 24-hour economy.
I think the president will have to use some unconventional means to create jobs. In their manifesto, they spoke about Light Up Ghana, which also found space in the 2020 manifesto, which was Street Lighting Authority. So I have proposed that we should set up a street lighting authority, and then we take that money that is given to his as the main source.
President Mahama's approval of a 2-year contract extension for Inspector General of Police IGP Christian Tete Yohunu sparked public criticism over apparent policy inconsistency, coming 7 months after government suspended all post-retirement contracts. Earlier in December, President Mahama requested the Majority Leader Mahama Yariga and the Majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Lapiamepo to suspend their move to introduce a private members' bill seeking to abolish the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP. These critics say it's giving the chance to the executive to impose or intrude on the legislative.
Mr. Speaker, because of the inadequate releases of Parliament, and the executive want to control Parliament. Now the president is dictating to members of Parliament. When the Majority Chief Whip and the Majority Leader file or intend to file a private members bill, the president is telling them to reduce it. Why? Their oversight, their rule as members of Parliament. Because of what? To withdraw. We have the official letter from the presidency to the members of Parliament. But he has instructed that you should withdraw it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the executive have no authority to dictate what happened in Parliament.
During the year, the presidential pardon of the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, after he was seen in a viral video gifting dollars to popular telejournalist Patricia Siedu, popularly known as Agrada, became one of the most controversial actions of the year. Supporters described it as reconciliation and statesmanship. Opponents questioned the messages sent about accountability. But what is the assessment of Ghanaians of President Mahama's tenure so far?
So far, I would say I'll rate him like 98%. 98 because Mahama has learnt a lot, and I can see the progress in town. Everything has changed so far. I used to buy fuel, huge amount of fuel, By now, I can say fuel is very low. So far, Africa, our currency is the best now because we are now challenging the dollar so far.
This government has really given me an opportunity to scale up. As a matter of fact, 3 days ago, we just opened in the Nationalism Park. It's the only Ghanaian park which is opening for 24 hours. We have a notion that everything has to be done by government, but I feel like when we can team up as a team, as citizens, we can also start little and government can push us.
As the president enters his second year, Ghanaians will judge his presidency by what follows after the first year. Christabel Success Trevor, TV3 News, Accra.
It's still News Central here on TV3. If you haven't caught on yet, 7th January a year ago, the president was being sworn in just around this time, which is why we're following his progress a year on. We'll now connect with Grace Hamwa Ajiman, who's joining us from the Hub of Traders in Abossey. Grace, what can you report from there?
Right, Kemini. So just as you rightly put it, it's been 365 days since President Mahama's second coming as Ghana's president. We have been moving through some principal streets of the capital from Circle through to Kaneshi, and now we've made our way here to one of Ghana's spare parts hub, Abossey. From conversations with the people I've spoken to so far, they are interested about the bread and butter issues as well as interventions government has put in place for the sustainability of their business. They talk about the removal of the e-levy, the scrapping of the betting tax, as well as the COVID levy, and also the stability of the city or the appreciation that the currency has enjoyed so far in the last few days. I have some of the importers or the traders here at Abossey. I will engage them and then they'll talk to us about what their assessment has been so far of President Mahama's second coming. Pacho, Mame Enfa Enfrio. So it's been 1 year President Mahama ebe president. Uhu na memo no esen.
Oh, na memo de yamini mini okoye pa. Mama amomo no obuni de 1 year no ba no me side de eyema misiri obi de ATS a obedi.
Then eyema
because Usha last year, Nyama Koso, Yebedi Brain, Nyama Koso, Nyama, Neboya didn't be to say a mona DNA and Guano, the way no boy Peja Koso, a mama time we are through this year, December way, said a Yamako Fomunu, I mean, no Koye Mammy Pa. Now, the second is like I be the Adiba Chimajin, Adiba Hamne say, about to do penny say, Bibi to sell all of fair, cast near your phone. About the time ever point about call station Yoko, and never quack a Jeruda, have a full Calacas one. Now, I must have to all of them drivers will be called 20 city, a big 10 city. I come in artists, buses now. Ati government won I come go for being good room na ati say sakas no lodu afa yenko ono no so de me ha no ba mama 1 year we de akoye mam papa serious.
All right, so for this young man, he is happy about the president's first year, but for a few issues. Pacho, 1 year of Mahama's second coming, how will you assess him so far? Let me hold it for you.
1 year John Mahama buy no issue ma waya there at least mama by 65%. So I had there. Then
the koye mau.
The koye mama say, I say, Adriana yedi, on my be an Adriana Kufuma, Adriana Bokufuma, a mama omano, members now a woman on free. Second, say, a number $1 now, a ginano, a boy. Nembum and no man says here a high. Sir, obetum a forso, ama emra a ye juma or mine. Amma on mine is the CNS and man a caution in our bed and a subecha. Hey, now on na membuno so no bunadia so bunasadia a bebwan. And so coswa or mamma dollar and brief him. Then your man to your me ye, nayanted in your masoka cra, emma on mine. A mamma my yeso yeneji, na membuno home.
Okay, so from the two people I've spoken with so far, they are excited about the President Mahama's 1 year so far. They are also asking for him to put in place a few measures or a few interventions for job sustainability as well as improve security in the country. Let me engage the men in the shop. Pacho, also President Mahama by 1 year and year. Namemuono, the kase mano from 100% aircraft. Kabema is saying.
Oh, me the 1 year. They made the value is the same. The value is the same.
What value is the same? What do you mean?
Which means, as you come, we say 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. No, still now, me myself haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, what percentage will you give him?
Oh, I'll give him like 40%.
40%.
Yes.
Okay, right. That is that from this man. Please let me also speak with you. President Mahama's 1 year in office. What do you make of it?
Oh, President Mahama 1 year in office is excellent. Even somebody like Kwajon Pieni even have praised Mahama that Mahama is doing a good job. What about the rest of us? 100% I'll give all to
What is going well for you?
Everything is going well for me because the dollar, the port, the harbor duties and all those things are going well for me.
Looking forward into his subsequent years, what do you want him to do more for you as a business person?
Okay, as a business person, we want the banks to give a lot of loans to individuals so that they can establish, people can establish more businesses so that they can employ people. Like the way this guy is saying about the 24-hour economy, we want something like that to happen because if you go to America, Asia and all those places, they run 24-hour. Yeah, they are doing the same thing. So if we run that 24 hours, I think it will be better for us. Because right now, as we are speaking, Tema Harbor is running 24/7. Yeah.
Right. So Kemini, as you have heard from these Ghanaians as well as these traders, majority of them tell me that the president, they appreciate the work the president is doing concerning the bread and butter issues as well as interventions for business sustainability. They would want him to do a lot more when it comes to security, and also his much talked about 24-hour economy policy, so that there'll be a lot of jobs for young people who do not have any form of work to do. So from here at the Abosokai Spare Part Hub, it is mixed reactions. While others have praised the president, others also want him to do more. Back to you in the studio.
Grace Hamwajima with that report. Thank you so much, Grace. You're still here on News Central. We'll take our first break, but still ahead on the newscast. We'll take you to Tema Meridian, where residents are unhappy about the potential sale of the historic Meridian Hotel to a private developer. Welcome back. It's still News Central here on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano. I want us to talk now about the Tema Meridian Hotel, which is back in the news as residents of Tema Mahia are protesting what they say is the indiscriminate sale of the defunct hotel, which has deep cultural and historical significance to them. The old Meridian Hotel currently stands as an abandoned structure, which has become a haven for drug addicts, thieves, and unauthorized parking space for articulated trucks. The youth who are demanding transparency in the potential sale of the facility have gone ahead to damage the wall erected by the private developer. Well, every now and then it returns to the front page of the news. I'm talking about the Tema Meridian Hotel and the potential of redeveloping and sustaining this iconic cultural edifice. George Queenan is on the ground for us. Let's connect with him now. George, tell us a bit more about the situation in Tema Mahia now in reference to Tema Meridian Hotel.
Okay, thank you so much, Kemini. So this very place has a significant cultural and historical significance. And most of the protesters I've spoken to want the land returned to the stew, because when this very building was earmarked for this very construction, there's actually a plant or a tree in the middle of this very site. And that's where the deity is. So it's more like an ancestral home. So anytime there's festival, there's from all they come here to do their rituals and all that. So when the construction was happening, the contractor tried to pull the tree down. They came back the next day and the tree was planted back. So there's some spiritual connotation here. So what they want is the government should give back the land to the stew, because even when Coming was taking the land, it didn't give them a time. And so if there's going to be some sort of disposing this land off again, there should be some proper consultations. They are not ready to see any private development here. And this is actually the third time they've actually pulled down walls that have been erected in that regard. So this is what it is. Government should give the land back to the stew coming. So this is basically what protesters are demanding.
What do we know about this developer that the residents refer to?
Okay. So I spoke to the secretary of the Tema Hido, that's Isaac Tetterson, and he says, according to the MP for Tema East, Isaac Odampton, this very facility was sold to the private developer, that's Octaglo, in 2007. And they've been persistent about it. Their concerns are straight. We don't want any redevelopment here. Even if he constructs walls 100 times, they'll break it down 100 times. So Octaglo is the alleged private developer trying to redevelop this very area. And so that's what it is. They are not ready to budge. The government should heed to their concerns. It's their land. They want it back. The deity is right here in the middle. Imagine giving this property to a private developer. What that means is that if they want to do their rituals and all that, this private developer, if this place is developed, will not agree to this traditional, rituals and all that. So this is what they are concerned about. Even if they give them the land, they are ready to break it down and put it to good use. It should not be a problem to them. Either they're going to, break it down or whatever it is. They want the land. Whatever they do with it, it will be of good use to them. But a major concern here is that most of the residents that stay close to this place are scared that they might break down anytime soon. There are miscreants here. There are junkies here. Even they go to their third floor to even defecate and all that. So there are fecal matters everywhere. The space is quite unpleasant. And so someone I would like, okay, a developer would help do that. But people who are typical people who want the land returned to the stew. So basically, they want to return to the stew.
I see, George. Do we know if there's been engagements between the youth of the area, the developer, and maybe even state authorities?
Okay. So before coming here, I spoke to the special aid to the Tema Mayor, that's Eddie Bright. So I agreed to fix me at work. So I would have gotten these answers given to me, but she feels it's a sensitive matter. I should just put the story, across. But at the right time, she'll just put it in word with that to the assistance that they had meeting yesterday in that regard. So because the walls were broken yesterday, just on the 6th of January this year. So there was a meeting yesterday in that regard. So it's very sensitive. Let me put the story across. Whatever answers that I want to each question, she would gladly, give them to me. But that stands out. I can't really confirm whether there was prior engagement of consultations with stakeholders regarding this.
Very well, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much, George, for joining us with this story. George Quinny joined us from Tema Meridian, where residents are unhappy about the potential redevelopment of the iconic Meridian Hotel by a private developer. Now, away from that, the festive season may only just have ended, quickly giving way to a different kind of reality. With schools reopening, families are now confronted with costs all landing at once in what is already considered the toughest financial month of the year. There's more in this report by Grace Hamwajiman.
Barely weeks after the Christmas festivities, Ghanaian households are being jolted back into another season, back to school. Millions of students across the country are preparing for another term, with some already back in school. For students, it is a good way to begin the new year.
I'm wearing it, Gary, Kivo, and them things. So I'm happy to go back to school.
Milo, and biscuit, drink. I'm excited to go back to school to go and learn, continue my education, then get more time for study.
But behind these excited students are parents who are feeling the pinch. From uniforms and books to transport and feeding costs, parents say the financial pressure this January has been intense.
It's very, very difficult. Because of that, the Christmas, you can't eat it well. You can't enjoy it because the children are going to school. So you have to keep your money and buy their provisions and other things. So that's why it's very difficult for me, the parents.
40-year-old single mother, Patience, has come to the new plan station to see her child off to school. Patience tells me she had to cut down on her Christmas expenditure to make up for the school expenses.
I'm a single mother. I'm papa from 14 years. And therefore, Mammy Crabet, Yanko Roma.
I lost my husband 14 years ago, and it's not been easy with the kids. So I save a lot in order to raise the funds I will need.
For other parents, planning is key in order to survive the financial burden.
All the hands are not the same, and people have various types of business that actually predetermines our income. So if you know your strength and you know your responsibility, so for you to plan and plan well, you need to take measures.
Parents should learn to live within their means and not be swayed by trends that are costly.
Financial analysts advise that parents monitor the education structure and make provisions to prevent hardships.
You audit the bill, so look at the bill. Which of these items on the bill can I postpone in terms of paying for like the extra classes, certain levies that you can actually postpone, then be able to manage the cost relating to that. So I think that it's more of communication and planning. But there are some parents that perhaps also have access to some soft loans from their companies or some banks that they are doing business with. If that opportunity is there, you can also take it at least to cushion you for the next 2 to 3 months whilst you plan to stabilize yourself over a period of time.
The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, as part of measures to prevent students and parents from feeling educational hardship, has instructed the University of Ghana to reduce school fees announced for the term.
From jingle bells to school bells, January has definitely become a month of tough financial choices for many Ghanaian households. The cash is proper planning with the hope that the investments made today will secure the future of the next generation. Grace Hamwajiman, TV3 News, Circle New Plan Station, Accra.
It appears the weather no longer follows a strict calendar. From what was to be the beginning of Harmattan in December and January, there has been an exception. Even as in its unpredictability, one thing remains constant. When these conditions, like the Harmattan strikes, they come with health risks that leave many vulnerable. Samuel Yeboah Adams has more.
For weeks now, many have been waiting for the familiar chill and dusty wind that signaled the arrival of the Harmattan. According to a public weather advisory from Ghana Meteorological Agency, the unusual delay is primarily driven by a significant fluctuation in the position of the intertropical boundary, which has remained further north than usual. That notwithstanding, areas like the northern and eastern parts of the country have seen brief appearances, while the south and other parts of the country are barely feeling its presence. GMET further says, looking ahead of 2026, a transition into a generally weak Harmattan season is anticipated, warning that the public should remain alert for occasional episodes of severe conditions. While the weather pattern remains uncertain, health experts say the risks associated with the Harmattan do not disappear with a delay. Dr. Frank Dodo is the head of Public Health Department at the Ghana Police Service. For him, the delay should not be a moment to relax. Instead, it should be a period of preparation for all.
At this point, the need for every one of us to make sure that we are using oil-based lubricants on our skin. And one of the best you can get is the shea butter. Drink as much water as you can, and nothing less than 3,000 mils in a day. We need to boost our immunity. And boosting our immunity would mean that we are eating very balanced diet, and then taking in meals that has a lot of vitamins and minerals.
He further cautioned that some everyday habits, often seen as harmless during the Harmattan season, should be checked as it poses additional health risk.
I know the weather may be cold, and so most of us may tend to want to use warm water. If it's lukewarm, that's fine. But if it's too hot or warm, then chances are you are likely to rub your skin off essential oils, natural oils, and those are also needed to keep the skin lubricated. Because the weather becomes dry and hot, we tend to love to use air conditions, and we tend to use the fan. Between the two, I would say that if you have the opportunity, rather use the air condition. The thing is that because it is dry, you need something that will humidify your environment.
As schools have reopened, workers going back to their routines, and communities facing increased workload, experts say readiness is key, because whether the Harmattan arrives early or late, its impact can be just as unforgiving, especially for those caught unprepared.
That's a really important story. Better to be safe than sorry when the Harmattan eventually hits. Let's go across the regions now. A growing number of student population coupled with inadequate infrastructure and a lack of transportation for academic clinicals at the Kwembe Nursing and Midwifery Training College is impacting negatively education outcomes. School authorities believe scaling up infrastructure needs to meet growing student population and will require more investment by government. The Kwembe Nursing and Midwifery Training College is the only nursing training institution under the Ministry of Health offering BSc Nursing and BSc Public Health, thereby putting a lot of pressure on school infrastructure. Let's connect now with Christopher Mwako, who's following this story. Christopher, what else can you report?
Yes, so Kemini, I can say that over the years, the inadequate infrastructure situation of the school has resulted in the school resorting to joint classes for the students who come here. The school is currently running BSc programs in nursing and public health. And that is the only institution in the country under the Ministry of Health that is offering these programs. And so more and more students are coming to this school for admission. And those who are admitted as it stands now, as most of them are staying outside campus while coming to the school for their lectures. The lecture halls are choked with population. When it also comes to clinical services, which is part of their academic work, because the school does not have a means of transport, it is very difficult for school authorities to go to these health facilities outside the jurisdiction to supervise these students who go on nursing clinicals. And so school authorities are appealing for intervention. Let's take a listen to what the principal of the school has been saying.
Well, Christopher, we cannot listen to that at this time. But thank you so much for joining us for this story. Christopher Amwako is our Northern Region correspondent, sharing some highlights on the Wembe Nursing College and the need for increased infrastructure for students of that school. We can now take a look at something else. A collaboration between the West Africa Food System Resilience Program and FarmMate Limited is helping improve local tomato production in the Upper East region. This intervention is reducing tomato imports from Burkina Faso, benefiting Ghanaian traders and the local economy.
Tomatoes are an essential part of the Ghanaian diet, accounting for about 40% of household vegetable expenditure. However, Ghana produces only 34% of the estimated 1.4 million tons of tomatoes consumed annually. This shortfall leads to heavy imports, especially between December and May. Local tomato production faces several challenges, including poor quality seed, weak pest and disease control, poor agronomic practices, and high post-harvest losses. To address these challenges, a tomato support scheme is being implemented in 17 districts across 4 regions, involving 1,500 farmers, 40% of whom are women. The program is supported by the Norwegian government and the World Bank. A tomato farmer in the Boko West district, Asima Awofo, expressed her joy over the introduction of the new tomato variety.
At first, we used to nurse our tomatoes. We broadcast it. But when the project came, they taught us how to nurse it in lines. And we saw that it was very good than the one we used to do. Then the agronomic practice, when it came to the transplanting, we were able to transplant in lines. First, we used to transplant them haphazardly.
The Food System Resilience Program Tomato Initiative Project Officer, Dr. Gabriel Owusu, highlighted the significance of the project to smallholder farmers.
Tomato is a very important vegetable in Ghana, and as you all recall, in Ghana, no tomato, no food. So our annual consumption is very high, but our production locally is not able to meet the demand. Our fresh tomato needs is about 800 metric tons, which Ghana is able to produce about just 300. The rest is being implemented. The objective of this project is to bridge this gap.
The Food System Resilience Program targets the production of 6,000 metric tons of tomatoes by the end of the intervention.
That's it this afternoon on News Central. We'll return same time tomorrow. I'm Kemini Amano. Bye-bye.